every once in a while a teacher will ask me, what's this Google Earth Engine and how can you use it in the classroom? And I think a lot of teachers have actually used it in the classroom. If you've ever used Google Time-Lapse, you've used Earth Engine. It's the back end of the Landsat data that you're looking at in a very user-friendly format. And if you have access to Earth Engine, if you apply for access and when they grant it to you, you can create your own kind of experimental app with it. And that's kind of what I did. I try to figure out something that fits my students, like all projects. And what I wanted to do was look at change over time as far as climate. So that's temperature and precipitation patterns for Austin. That's how it kind of initially started. So there's a data set within Earth Engine itself, the Terra Climate data set, and it's cited down here, where there's a bunch of different sensors that it uses as far as getting temperatures and precipitation for the land surfaces of the Earth. So this is not ocean, this is just land. And originally I just put I didn't have NX originally, I just had Austin there. And then there's the timeline for the monthly max temperatures for 2018. So for example, in July it's 38.2 degrees Celsius. That's the average max temperature. And then in July there's roughly was 34 millimeters of accumulated precipitation. So that's pretty cool. What you see right now is just the max temperature thematic map. If I turn on the precipitation, you see it there. And then you can use the opacity slider if you want to look at both at the same time. And then I went ahead and added from the USGS elevation as well. And again, you can use the opacity slider there if you want all three layers on, and maybe you can find a view you like. So that was pretty cool. And then I saw that I could do it for 2018, and I saw this data set went all the way to 1958. So like most of my projects got a little bit out of hand, and it's created this drop down. So you have all 60 years of data from the Terra Climate data set. And again, thematic map wise, I'm going to turn it up to all the way. Elevation's not going to change, well, slightly I guess, but not really. And so that was really cool. The temperature again now it's 35.2 degrees Celsius, and then in July looks like a wetter month at 65 millimeters of accumulated precipitation. That was kind of where it first went, and then I thought it'd be really cool if other people could do this as well. So went ahead and made it to where if you clicked anywhere on the land, the X will move and then your charts of course will change. So for this I'm just going to go ahead and, well, I'll turn that off, and then I'll go ahead and go to, let's see here, I need to hit Control and kind of go to London. If I click on London here, for example, it'll move, the charts are being generated. The map's already changed, I just have it set down to nothing, right? So there's London now, and there's your precipitation patterns for London in 1958. So in July it was 21.5 degrees average. And then if we go to 2018, July was 26.8 degrees Celsius. And then there's your precipitation pattern, which was pretty cool. One of my more favorite things to do, or what I added later, was when I was looking at precipitation, there's these changes that I wanted to look at that was pretty cool by year. And then I remembered that, oh, wait a second, we have this El Nino La Nina standard in our curriculum. So I thought we'd take a look at that. So I'm just going to click here in Mexico. It's generating the charts. It's experimental, so don't click it multiple times. You're going to be loading that chart. It's got to load the first one, and then cancel it out and load the second one. Just let it be patient with it. Alright, so let's go to El Nino year. And you can see this precipitation pattern kind of being a little bit consistent right here. So of course you have your it's not a very strong hurricane season, but then the the precipitation really starts picking up. And if we go to a La Nina year, you see the precipitation changes, right? And there's must have been some hurricanes that year, but see how little rain precipitation they get in the other months outside of the hurricane season. That's just an extended look at what you can do with this Earth Engine data for climate. And it's all Google's curation of the data. All I did was put these little menus and these charts on top of this map and set up the app. Hope you enjoy it.